Shepard did everything right. More than we could have hoped for.
I can't have you on this ship if you're gonna infect my crew.
Infect the crew? Oh, man, you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Commander Shepard uncovered the truth.
The back rooms are private, reserved for Fist and his friends.
Who's Fist?
He owns this club. The customers have to stay out
Reserved for fisting with friends.
And still, it's not enough.
You're saying that he can't even be a himbo?
I don't know.
You're saying that this face can't even be a himbo?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, to be a himbo, you have to be...
What are you telling him?
You have... There are qualifications.
The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
None of the other species has the guts, grit, or balls to deal with this. So it's up to us.
Damn, Rex
We're
is
the
right
only ones
there.
who can stop Saren.
You see those
I
other
swear to you
fucking
all, we
species?
will stop.
Neither one of these species have balls.
But he's just one man. If we lose Shepard, humanity might well follow.
Hey, come on. Your girlfriend, don't. Oh shit. Well, we know how that went.
Then see to it that we don't lose him.
And we are finally back with the next solo Let's Play on the channel. It is Massively Effective 2. Not Mass Effect 1, not Mass Effect 3, the middle one. And yes, you may be wondering, should I know anything about Mass Effect 1 to enjoy Mass Effect 2? Of course not! Mass Effect 1 is a much inferior game with a kind of meandering plot line. We played it a little bit before this, kind of like over a long period of time, and I didn't finish it, because I just didn't. And, you know, I think I cut some footage of that in before this, but whatever I gave you, that's as much as I played. So, Mass Effect 2 is great, and let's get into it here, so... So basically, I don't know how much I'm going to cut him the intro before this, but basically, the gist of it is that in Mass Effect 1, there's like these space robot race called the Geth that are controlled by a different space robot race called the Reapers that they come like every 50,000 years and basically kill everything that, like all life that exists in the galaxy. And you discover that they're real and they're coming and you're trying to do all this stuff to stop this other kind of robot guy called Saren from like helping the Reapers, and you beat him, but like the Reapers are still gonna come anyways, and you make friends with a turtle guy and a blue guy and a frog guy and all kinds of weird guys.
Come on, Joker.
And
We have to get out of here.
you know, then the game ends and you get a couple major decisions and like sacrificing the Normandy or not, or sorry, sacrificing the council or not sacrificing the council. Some of them are important, some of them are not really. That's really the main one, and I think the canon one is to save the council, so you'll probably see Udina somewhere in here. But yeah, and so the game is basically a lot of like, kind of like Knights of the Republic, made by the same studio. This was made a lot later, has a little, a lot less sort of retro game jank than that one did, so.
The Normandy's dead. Just like us, we don't get the hell out of here.
No, we just have to... Oh no.
Oh no. No, not a pre-rendered cutscene, no! That means we're fucked if the pre-rendered cutscene is playing. These assholes are blowing up the ship. My ship! My beloved... Oh, hopefully this doesn't wobble off. My beloved Normandy SR1 here. I think they only made like 150 of these. Look at that. Oh my god! Oh my god, it's so blown up, oh my god! Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god! It took like literally 2 years? A year and a half for that to come in after I ordered it. It's like one of those things you put money down on and then like completely forget about, so. Yeah, that ship's gone. And good old Commander Shepard is just kind of like floating in space here, so. We'll see what happens to him. Probably not a lot of good stuff, as the air in his suit pops and he just sort of suffocates and dies in space, probably. It would be a very short Mass Effect series if he did, so clearly he survives this. Yeah. 2 is the best one. 3 is good too, but 2 is better, 1 is okay of this series.
He's reacting to outside stimuli, showing an awareness of his surroundings.
Dude, is that Snake?
Miranda, I think he's waking up.
It is.
Damn it, Wilson, he's not ready yet. Give him the sedative. Shepard, don't try to move. Just lie
That's Yvonne
still. Try to
Strahovski,
stay
if anybody
calm.
knows. That's her based on her actual appearance and the she's the voice actress.
It's not working.
Another dose. Now.
Heart rate dropping. Stats falling back into normal range. That was too close. We almost lost him.
I told you your estimates were off. Run the numbers again.
Of course, the hot babe is like, you know, looming over you as you're sick, and not the bald old man.
Shepard, do you hear me? Get out of that bed now. This facility is under attack. Shepard, your scars aren't healed, but I need you to get moving. This facility is under attack. There's a pistol in the locker on the other side of the room. Hurry! Grab the pistol and armor from the locker.
Yeah.
Grab your weapon and armor.
This pistol
Grab
has a
it.
thermal clip.
It's a keep your head down, Shepard. Shield yourself from the blast.
What is
Someone's
reload?
hacking security trying to kill you. Look for a thermal clip for your pistol.
Yeah. No more turn-based bullshit. Here we go.
Barricade to try holding the mechs off.
Oh.
Look out!
Isn't there a combat run? Oh.
Keep moving. We need to use
Yeah.
the shots.
There we go. Sorry, I was just adjusting the audio there so that less would be in the footage here.
Shepard, security mechs are closing in on your position.
Somebody has reprogrammed all the security mechs. Oh shit. Come on. Wake up, get shot, repeat. What's in here? Oh, can I go explore in that other
Don't
room?
waste time. I can't keep the mechs distracted for long.
Oh, I guess I have a full clip. Oh, jeez. This is very the same as Knights of the Republic 1, right? Everything's like burning and you have to like get off the ship. I mean, I kind of already had things burning and had to get off the ship, right? Hold LB. Oh yeah, this is how you switch weapons. Yeah.
Take the elevator down 1 floor.
Here we go. Go down, go down.
Hurry! Get to the door. Run!
Forward and hold to storm through the fire. Cool.
You're doing great, Shepard. Head to the next room and I'll try to beat you. Shepard, read me. I've got mechs closing in on my position.
Got bogeys. Oh, hacked mechs. They're trying to get all of our juicy secrets.
The cost of this project is astronomical. Over 4 billion credits so far. But nobody seems to care that we've gone over budget. I don't know where the boss gets all this money. I just wish
You don't seem that worried. Okay.
update. I can't figure Miranda out. As project director, she should be extended.
Shepard, what the hell?
Got him! What are you doing here? Thought you were still a work in progress.
I need answers, damn it.
Look, pal, I don't know where I am or how I got here. Plus, my head feels like an overripe melon ready to split open. How about you fill me in a little?
Damn.
Damn.
I forgot this is all new to you. Sorry about that. I'm Jacob Taylor. I've been stationed here for—
Hostiles detected.
Damn it! Things must be worse than I thought if Miranda's got you running around. I'll fill you in, but we better get you to the shuttle first.
Lead the way.
It's your station, Jacob. I'll follow you.
First step, let's finish off these metal bastards. We're low on thermal clips, but I'm a biotic. Just give the order when you want me to hit them with the good stuff.
Yeah. Boosh! Alright, so I can tell him that it's probably the other wheel, right? Pull. Oh! You shoot their limbs off. It's pretty fun. I already did it. Tutorial.
Ready to get the hell off this station?
I've got some
Before we go
questions.
anywhere, I need some answers.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Nah, I don't really need to know anything.
Quickest way to those shuttles?
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best if we—
Check. Anyone on this frequency? Anybody still alive out there? Hello?
Wilson, this is Jacob. I'm here with Commander Shepard. Just took out a wave of mechs over in D-Wing.
Shepard's alive? How the hell? Never mind. You need to get him out of there. Get to the service tunnels and head for the network control room.
Roger that, Wilson. Stay on this frequency.
Let's get out of here.
You bet. We can get into the service tunnels through this door.
Let's go.
Damn it, Wilson. This room is crawling.
Damn it, Wilson.
Station is crawling with mechs. I'm doing the best I can.
Wilson's gonna die, bro. I don't remember this character at all. So he's done. So what are my powers? I get disruptor ammo. I just turn this on, right? It doesn't like go away, I think.
Non-standard ammunition.
Oh god. They found me. Help!
Help!
Where are you?
Server room B! Hurry! They're out of control!
Up those stairs, Shepard.
Oh god.
They shot him. Let's go.
Shepard, down here! Bastards got me in the leg!
I remember you,
The
man.
first time I regained consciousness.
Yeah, that was me. How about we talk about this after we fix my leg?
Should be some meta-gel in the first aid station on the wall. Hopefully there's enough to get him up and moving again.
Grab the meta-gel from the first aid station on the...
Is it Unity? Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, Unity was the resurrection spell from Mass Effect 1.
Never thought you'd save my life. Guess that makes us even now, huh? I thought maybe I could shut down the security mechs, but whoever did this fried the whole system. Completely irreversible.
We didn't ask what you were doing. Why do you even have security mech clearance? You were in the bio wing.
Weren't you listening? I came here to try and fix this. Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
I don't trust any of you yet.
You're all strangers to me. Let's get someplace safe, then we'll sort out whose fault it is.
Right, Shepard. We need to find Miranda. We can't leave her behind.
Forget about Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector. There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Then where is she? Why haven't we heard from her? There are only two possible explanations. She's either dead, or she's a traitor.
Maybe, maybe not.
I've known her long enough to trust her.
This project was Miranda's baby. She'd never sabotage it.
Okay, maybe she's not a traitor. But that doesn't change the facts. We're here, she's not. We need to save ourselves. The shuttle bay is only a few...
Overload the canisters to clear a path. Shuttles. That's it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, we took him down. But this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
This really isn't the time, Jacob.
We won't make it if he's expecting a shot in the back.
If you want to piss off the boss, it's your ass, Jacob.
The Lazarus Project, the program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
Cerberus? That sounds familiar.
I think I ran into Cerberus a few times while I was investigating Saren. Some kind of pro-human splinter group, right?
Well, that's what the Alliance wants people to believe. But there's more to it. The Alliance declared you dead. They gave up. Cerberus spent a fortune to bring you back. Look, I'd be suspicious too. But right now, we have to work together. I thought you deserved to know what's what. Once we're off the station, I'll take you to the elusive man. He'll explain everything. I promise.
Fine, let's go.
Well, if I won't get any more answers here, let's get moving.
It's not much farther to the shuttle bay.
So yeah, this is, it is like super reminiscent of the first Knights of the Old Republic in the sense of like, again, burning shit, busted up station, but the storytelling's a lot quicker in this game. You know, it's a lot more sort of point to point. It's a lot less arbitrary than even Mass Effect 1 kind of felt, so. And they redid like all the armor and stuff too, like the way everything looks, you know. The game's a lot more like rugged and less like clean. You'll see some of that more once we get into like Omega and all the other areas after this, but yeah, I haven't played this game in, I don't know, probably 6 years, you know, so it's been quite a long, maybe even more than 6 years, right? I mean, this game came out, I think, when I was in junior year of high school, I think. So, I mean, that was 2009, so actually, fuck, I mean, I don't think I've played this game since then. It's got to be like 11 years, 12 years or something, but I kind of put this in the cast of like really good games, right? And, you know, we'll kind of see how this holds up, you know. Wait, what? Oh, you can just highlight them. Gotcha. And then you only get so much time, I guess. There we go. Cool.
Test subject has been recovered, but the damage
Alright, let's keep it moving.
than we initially feared.
Doodle-doodle-doo. Is this the right way to go? Do we go this way? I think I have to hack this door to get through. Or maybe I don't.
Come on, through here. We're almost at the... Miranda, but you were...
Dead?
What the hell are you doing?
Dun 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 dun.
My job. Wilson betrayed us all.
I had a feeling Wilson was just looking for a chance to shoot me in the back.
Good instincts. Some people are far too trusting to ever see that coming. Come on, let's grab this shuttle and get out of here.
No
My boss wants to
explanation?
speak to you.
You mean the elusive man? I know you work for Cerberus.
Okay, Hot Girl says he was a traitor, I guess.
Knowing your conscience would get the better of you.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get him to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there anything else you want to ask before we go, Commander?
How about what Wilson was doing? I guess that's not an option.
You're the Lazarus Project's director, aren't you?
That's right. I put 2 years of my life into this project. Into you.
What does Cerberus want from me?
Maybe you should ask the elusive man when you meet him. He poured virtually unlimited resources into Lazarus. Obviously, he has some kind of plan for you.
Alright, let's go.
I've had enough of this station to last a lifetime.
Or 2, in your case. Come on.
Yeah, so I guess you're basically like a cyborg, right? Because you're like literally dead when they recover you, and then they bring you back to life, replace the things that are broken with robot pieces. And they kind of have that theme with the elusive man, as you can see with his like robotic irises, so.
We need to ask a few questions to evaluate your condition.
Come on, Miranda, more tests? Shepard took down those mechs without any trouble. That has to be good enough.
It's been 2 years since the attack. The elusive man needs to know that Shepard's personality and memories are intact. Ask the questions.
2 years?
Did you say 2 years? I've been gone that long?
2 years and 12 days. And you were on an operating table for most of it.
The sooner we start, the sooner we can be done. Start with personal history.
Okay. Records show you grew up on Earth. Tough environment, no parents. You enlisted and you survived a Thresher Maw attack that wiped out the rest of your team. Do you remember that?
I don't, because if you think about it, so thresher moths are like basically giant worms, like from if you've ever seen Tremors before or Dune. They're like a giant ground worm, very common sci-fi trope. I didn't think they had them on Earth though, which is, oh, you enlisted and you survived a thresher moth attack. Okay, I was like, when the fuck did they get giant worms on Earth? I didn't die.
Yeah, I remember it. Everyone's screaming, gunfire, blood everywhere. I was the only one who stayed focused on survival.
I read the report. 50 Marines died in a cruise. You were the only one who lived. Satisfied, Miranda?
Almost. Let's try something more recent. Vermeer, where you destroyed Saren's cloning facility, you had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams was killed in action. It was your call. Why did you leave her behind?
It was that or die.
Being in command means that sometimes you give orders knowing that your people are gonna die. That can't affect your decisions. Ash gave her life for the rest of the team. Without her, I couldn't have stopped Saren. She died a hero.
I understand, Commander, and I wasn't judging your decision. Everybody at Cerberus knows that cloning facility had
I wanted her to die. She was a racist asshole who
Miranda.
always was starting problems.
The memories are there, and I can vouch for Shepard's combat skills personally.
I suppose you're right. We'll have to hope the elusive man accepts our little field test as evidence enough.
I really wish they would explain what Wilson did. Like I said, like I knew he was a traitor, but it was more or less like I felt like he was a traitor. I'm going Renegade in this, by the way, because I usually just do Paragon. I mean, I'm not explicitly going to do like anything like, but you know, I figured it's just kind of the Renegade options are more fun sometimes.
I wouldn't keep the elusive man waiting.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
I don't think you ever come back to this station either. Like, this is sort of just for the intro segment, I think. But let's see. Martin Sheen.
Commander Shepard.
Elusive man. I thought we'd be meeting face to face.
A necessary precaution. Not unusual for people who know what you and I know.
What do we know?
And what exactly is it that you and I know?
That our place in the universe is more fragile than we'd like to think. That one man, one very specific man, might be all that stands between humanity and the greatest threat of our brief existence.
The Reapers.
Good to see your memory's still intact. How are you feeling?
Skip the pleasantries.
What are the Reapers doing that made you decide to bring me back?
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack. While you've been sleeping, entire colonies have been disappearing. Human colonies. We believe it's someone working for the Reapers, just as Saren and the Geth aided Sovereign. You've seen it yourself. You bested all of them. That's just one reason we chose you.
Alliance aid?
If this is a threat against humanity, you need to mobilize the Alliance.
The Alliance is overwhelmed by the responsibility you gave them. They're too busy building relations to put resources into verifying the Reaper threat. Blaming the abductions on mercs and pirates is easier and more convenient.
Where do we start?
If you're after the Reapers, just point me in the right direction.
Miranda was worried you'd be resistant. She's not usually wrong. I have a shuttle ready to take you to Freedom's Progress, the latest colony to be abducted. Miranda and Jacob will brief you.
I'm supposed to trust them?
Miranda killed Wilson in cold blood. Jacob's just a gun for hire. You expect me to trust them?
Wilson was one of my best agents, but he was a traitor. Miranda did exactly what I expected of her, and she saved your life in more ways than one. Jacob's a soldier, one of the best. He's never fully trusted me, but he's always been honest about it. You'll be just fine with them. For now.
What are you expecting?
What do you think I'll find there?
If I knew that, I wouldn't need to send you. Find any clues you can. Who's abducting the colonies? Do they have any connection to the Reapers? I brought you back. It's up to you to do the rest.
Damn. It's pretty... If you don't get into like the extra dialogue, the game moves at a pretty ripping clip, you know what I mean? People just get shot, they kind of just move on, you know what I mean? Like, alright, don't care, neither do I. Go play game, you know?
The elusive man is very impressed with you. I'm eager to see if you can live up to his expectations on this mission.
Thanks for resurrecting me, babe.
I never got a chance to say how much I appreciated what the Lazarus Project did for me.
I just hope it was worth it. A lot of people lost their lives on that station.
Is there a problem here?
For someone who spent 2 years putting me back together, you don't seem real fond of me.
I have the utmost respect for your abilities, Shepard. It's your motivations that concern me. I believe in what Cerberus stands for. Only time will tell if you prove to be an asset or a liability to our cause.
What does the project stand for?
What can you tell me about this colony we're going to?
Freedom's Progress? It's a typical human settlement in the Terminus systems. They had a small military force for protection supplemented by mechs and security drones. Average in almost every way, really. Completely unremarkable. Until the disappearance.
It's obvious you're not interested in talking.
We've got an assignment. We can talk about it or we can do it.
I'm glad the elusive man convinced you to join us, Commander.
I didn't join Cerberus.
I just agreed to work with him. I still don't trust him.
Do you trust me, Commander?
I'm not sure.
I haven't made up my mind about you yet.
At least you're giving me a chance. Most Alliance soldiers hate Cerberus on principle.
You said you served in the Alliance?
5 years in total. Stationed all over the galaxy. Even spent a couple of years as a Corsair.
I've never heard of the Corsairs.
It was an Alliance initiative. They hired independent starship captains and used them for missions that fell outside official Alliance jurisdiction. Technically, we weren't part of the Alliance. If we ever got caught, they could disavow any knowledge of us. We were supposed to be free from restrictions and rules, but there was still enough red tape to sink a cruiser. I finally just gave up.
Why did you join Cerberus?
Probably for that reason.
I just got tired of never making a difference. So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless. I thought things would change after the attack on the Citadel. The old council was dead, and humanity took control of the new one. But nothing changed. Politics, bureaucracy, same bullshit, different leaders. Cerberus is different. When colonies go missing, we don't commission a team to write a report to figure out what the hell to do about it. We just go and find out.
Hell yeah.
That's all for now.
Yes, sir.
I always liked the writing in this game. I mean, I think I chose this one because it's the most similar to Knights of the Old Republic 1, I think, in terms of like writing level, you know, and characters and stuff like that. So I guess this is what you get. Oh, this is your summary, right? You leveled up, you did some stuff, you got, you have received the following bonuses for having beaten Mass Effect 2. Well, I guess they know that I did in the past. I don't know. It's weird that they have this. I mean, maybe I did beat this game or played this game again like less than 12 years ago. But I mean, it's either way. It's been like a really, really long time since I've like put any energy into this. I played Mass Effect. Oh, you know what it is? Gwen might have beaten this on my account. You know what it is? I think that's what it is because Gwen beat Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 in the time I didn't finish Mass Effect 1. So. Do you have any orders? We're here to search.
Just keep your eyes open. We're looking for anything that tells us who did this.
Understood, Commander. With luck, we'll find something that was missed at the other colonies.
Then we can find out who's behind it and get some payback.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Let's get some payback. He's like, for payback for what, dude? I've been asleep for 2 years. I don't know shit, man. I was just looking up at some hot girl passing out, kind of doing the same thing over and over. Some Australian actress who was on that, what was it? She was like a secret agent in a show, and then she was in Dexter at the very end when the show got horrible. So not a real lucrative TV career. Much better career being a character in Mass Effect 2.
Just got up and left right in the middle of dinner.
That's part of the thing with these games. They try to get like actual actors and actresses to be characters in Mass Effect games, and I mean, what? Joker's what? Seth Green and can't remember his fucking name. The voice of Spawn is Admiral Anderson, and they always try to get like actual people to do those roles. Oh god, I'm trying to remember. Oh, Billie Eilish's mom is a character in this. I'll say who it is when she comes up. But I was like kind of crazy to me to realize that their family's kind of just connected like that, you know? What the fuck? Oh, exploding dogs? What the fuck? Oh, this is why I'm dying. I'm getting shot by this guy. Yeah, it's also, instead of like having flat health in this, you have like the sort of red ring thing that Call of Duty has, where like you can't take too much sustained damage, but there's not really like a health bar. That's a change from the from Mass Effect 1 as well. Let's see what's in here. Let's see. This is when the potassium comes in handy, man. Quick thinking. Nope, fucked up. Not enough potassium. I had a banana this morning. Shit. Alright. Oops. What else do we got around here? Oh, shit! Oh, that's cool. Wait, what's that? Oh, they don't have the hold the button like strong melee attack in this. You used to be able to pull out your vibroblade and stab somebody, but I think that's just in Mass Effect 3.
Stop right there.
Oh, Quarians.
You said you'd let me handle this. Wait, Shepard?
I'm not taking any chances with Cerberus operatives.
Put those weapons down! Shepard? Is that... you're alive?
Cerberus rebuilt me, Tali. In return, they asked me to investigate these attacks on human colonies.
You'll pardon us for not taking you at your word, Cerberus.
We're well within our rights to investigate attacks on a human colony. I'd like to know what the Quarians are doing here.
Weapons down, Praza. Whatever's going on here, I don't think we need another fight. One of our people was here on pilgrimage. His name was Vitor. We came to find him.
Isn't that a little strange? A Quarian visiting a remote human colony?
Quarians can choose where they go on pilgrimage. Vitor liked the idea of helping a small settlement. He was always nervous in crowds.
She means that he was unstable. Combine that with damage to his CO2 scrubbers and an infection from an open-air exposure, and he's likely delirious.
When he saw us landing, he hid in a warehouse on the far side of town. We suspect he also programmed the mechs to attack anything that moved.
Vitor's the only one who can tell us what happened here. We should work together to find him.
Good idea. You'll need 2 teams to get past the drones anyway.
Now we're working with Cerberus?
No, Praza, you're working for me. If you can't follow orders, go wait on the ship. Head for the warehouse through the center of the colony. We'll circle around the far side and draw off some of the drones to clear you a path.
Sounds good.
Make sure to keep in radio contact.
Will do.
I keep thinking that, like, I keep looking at the thing on Jacob's, like, belt on his, like, left part of his waist, and I keep thinking it's like a spray bottle for some reason. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Like he's just gonna, like, Lysol lemon pledge something. Oh, what the? I just wanted to bypass. I think these were... Wait, fuck. I can't... I try to talk when I do this, right? Like, maybe I should try to talk less and just cut this, you know what I mean? And cut around where things become interesting, you know? Maybe that's the better way of doing this.
There we go!
Enemy down! Oh, yeah. These rocket drones are in the first one. Here we go. Oh, what the fuck?
Target down!
Ow.
Shepard, Praza and his squad rushed on ahead. I told them to wait, but they wouldn't listen. They want to find Vitor and take him away before you get here.
We should have expected this.
Come on, we can still catch them.
Alright. Ooh. You get off me, dog. Ugh. Oh, I have a gun, finally. How did I really not realize that I didn't need to use the pistol? Seriously?
Reprogrammed the heavy mech. It's tearing Plaza's squad apart.
They did want to get to Vitor first.
Get your squad into cover and I'll open the loading bay doors.
We'll take cover by the doors. Shepard, you take point.
Here we go.
Taking cover.
So you can give them commands in this one. I think you can in the update for Mass Effect 1 as well, but I don't think you could originally in Mass Effect 1. Like, to give them commands of where to stand. Damn, they all got massacred. Shit. Damn, they're getting wrecked.
That mech's got heavy armor plating. Those Quarians never stood a chance.
This is gonna be one tough son of a bitch to take down.
No, not really.
Take out their shields.
Overload for the shields. So, then that will rips through shields and shreds synthetic targets. Alright, Disruptor's gonna destroy this thing. Owie. What is this mode? Oh, slow-mo. Rip.
Watch out!
Nice. That was not too bad. What is Metagel? I guess I damaged Ymir mech.
This looks interesting.
Find Iridium. What's in here? Another safe I can fail at? Nice. Nice. Power cells.
Monsters coming back. Mechs will protect. Safe from swarms. Have to hide. No monsters. No swarms. No.
Vitor?
No, Vitor. Not here. Swarms can't find. Monsters coming. Have to hide.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Great. We come all this way and our only witness is a babbling idiot.
Swarms coming. Storm coming. Storm of swarms.
Wake up, motherfucker.
You're not one of them. You're human. They didn't find you?
Who didn't find us?
The monsters. The swarms. They took everyone.
We're not survivors, Vitor. We just got here.
You don't know. You didn't see. But I see everything.
Looks like security footage. He must have pieced it together manually.
What the hell is that?
It's the collectors.
My God. I think it's a collector.
Is that some kind of alien?
They're a species from somewhere beyond the Omega-4 relay. Only a few people have ever seen one in person.
They usually work through intermediaries, like slavers or hired mercenaries. If they're involved with the Reapers somehow, it could explain what happened to the colonies.
The collectors have advanced technology. They could have a weapon that disables an entire settlement at once.
Okay, yep, and...
The Seeker swarms. No one can hide. The Seekers find you, freeze you, then the monsters take you away.
Okay, yep.
Why
Yeah,
did
come
the
on.
collectors take you?
Swarms didn't find me. Monsters didn't know I was here.
The collectors aren't known for being careless. Maybe his enviro suit kept him from showing up on their sensors.
Or they were using technology specifically designed to detect humans. Only human colonies have been hit.
Tell me more about these swarms.
It's how they find you. Seeker clouds, machines like tiny insects. They go everywhere. They find you, then they sting you, freeze you.
Sounds like miniature probes, maybe. Find victims, then immobilize them with a stasis field or nerve toxin.
I want to know more about the collectors.
Nobody knows much. They're so rare, a lot of people don't even believe they exist.
More importantly, why are they abducting human colonists? What are they after?
Maybe the elusive man can figure it out.
What happened next?
The monsters took the people onto the ship, and then they left. The ship flew away. But they'll be back for me. No one escapes.
I think that's probably all we're getting out of him, Commander.
We appreciate what you told us. You were very helpful.
I studied them. The monsters. The swarms. I recorded them with my Omni tool. Lots of readings. Electromagnetic. Dark energy.
We need to get this data to the elusive man. Grab the Quarian and call the shuttle to come pick us up.
What? Vitor is injured. He needs treatment, not an interrogation.
We won't hurt him. We just need to see if he knows anything else. He'll be returned unharmed.
Your people tried to betray us once already. If we give him to you, we'll never get the intel we need.
Praza was an idiot, and he and his men paid for it. You're welcome to take Vitor's Omnitool data, but please, just let me take him.
You should join us, Tally.
You don't have to take Vitor and go. We could work together, just like old times.
I'm still trying to accept that you're even alive, and you're with Cerberus. I've got responsibilities now. I've got a mission of my own. I can't walk away from that. Not even for you.
He's traumatized and he needs medical care. Tally will give us the Omnitool data and take him to the flotilla.
Understood, Commander.
Thank you, Shepard. I'm glad you're still the one giving the orders. Good luck out there. If I find anything that can help you, I'll let you know.
We're ready for pickup.
Dun dun dun. What are the collectors? What are they doing? Why do they look like bugs? Or like sort of like Power Rangers bad guys with their like overly large
Good work on
suit
progress.
head structure thingies, you know?
The Quarians forwarded their findings from Vitor's debriefing. No new data, but it's a surprising olive branch given our history. You and I have different methods, but I can't argue with your results.
What about Vitor's data?
The data from his Omnitool should be quite useful.
We're still analyzing it. But more importantly, you confirm the collectors are behind the abductions.
You don't seem
Why
surprised.
do I get the feeling you knew about them already?
I had my suspicions, but I needed proof. The collectors are enigmatic at best. They periodically travel to the terminus systems, looking to gather seemingly unimportant items or specimens, usually in exchange for their technology. When their transactions are complete, they disappear as quickly as they arrived, back beyond the unmapped Omega-4 relay. Until now, we've had no evidence of direct aggression by the collectors.
What's the relay?
Why is the Omega-4 relay unmapped? What do we know about it?
Only that no ship passing through it has ever returned. Our best guess is that the relay reacts differently to collector vessels, allowing them safe passage. If they can manipulate relays, that's just further evidence of the connection with the Reapers.
Any ideas on why they've shifted their focus to humans?
If they're agents for the Reapers, it could be any number of reasons. Obviously, humanity played a huge role in Sovereign's destruction. That might have been enough to draw their attention. What really concerns me is why they bother abducting the colonists. Once the humans are paralyzed,
They gotta turn them into stuff, man. That's what they did in the other game, turn people into things.
You're holding something back. How do you know the Reapers are involved?
The patterns are there, buried in the data. The Council and the Alliance want to believe the Reaper threat died with Sovereign. You and I know better. I won't wait until the Reapers are on the march. We need to take the fight to them.
If this is a war, I'll need an army. Or a really good team.
I've already compiled a list of soldiers, scientists, and mercenaries. You'll get dossiers on the best of them. Finding them and convincing them to work with you could be challenging, but you're a natural leader. I'll continue to track the collectors. When they make their next appearance, I'll notify you and your team. Be ready.
I had a good team.
Keep your list. I want people I trust. The ones who helped me stop Saren and the Geth.
That was 2 years ago, Commander. Most of them have moved on, or their allegiances have changed.
What's up with Liara?
Where's Liara Tassoni?
She's on Ilium. My sources say that she's working for the Shadow Broker. If so, she can't be trusted.
Okay, I get it. They're not available.
You're a leader, Shepard. You'll get who you need.
I'm still a Spectre. Maybe I can get the Council to help us out.
If you think you can convince them, by all means. Just remember, you've been gone a long time. Things have changed.
You worry about the collectors. I'll make sure my team's ready.
Good. 2 things before you go. First, head to Omega and find Morden Solus. He's a brilliant Solarian scientist. Our intelligence suggests he may know how to counteract the Collector's paralyzing Seeker swarms.
Sounds good. What else?
I found a pilot I think you might like. I hear he's one of the best. Someone you can trust.
Hey.
Hey, Commander. Just like old times, huh?
I can't believe it's you, Joker.
Look who's talking. I saw you get spaced.
Got lucky, with a lot of strings attached. How'd you get here?
It all fell apart without you, Commander. Everything you stirred up, the Council just wanted it gone. The team was broken up, records sealed, and I was grounded. The Alliance took away the one thing that mattered to me. Hell yeah, I joined Cerberus.
You really trust the Elusive Man?
Well, I don't trust anyone who makes more than I do. But they aren't all bad. Saved your life, let me fly, and there's this. They only told me last night.
Yeah, SR2, baby. Normandy 2.
It's good to be home, huh, Commander?
I guess we'll have to give her a name.
The Normandy. Yep. Yeah. Mission complete. I even like these like loading screens, right? You know, little diagrams of things landing and launching. It's like basically the same layout, so it's like you didn't lose anything.
Commander.
I've been looking over the dossiers. I'd strongly recommend starting by acquiring Morden Solus, the Solarian professor on Omega. We know the Collectors use some type of advanced technology to immobilize their victims. We'll need him to develop a countermeasure to protect us.
Good point.
Without that countermeasure, we'll be helpless if we ever run into the Collectors.
Acquiring Professor Solus seems like the most logical place to start.
Who are you?
I am the Normandy's artificial intelligence. The crew like to refer to me as Edie.
Joker's not gonna like this.
Helmsmen aren't happy when someone takes control of a ship away from them. Especially Joker.
I do not helm the ship. Mr. Moreau's talents will not go to waste. During combat, I operate the electronic warfare and cyber warfare suites. Beyond that, I cannot interface with the ship's systems. I observe and offer analysis and advice. Nothing more.
Anyone else I should
I'm
meet?
guessing it takes more than just the three of us plus Joker to fly this ship.
The Normandy has a full crew. They're at their stations awaiting your orders.
Final preparations for takeoff are complete, Commander. When you're ready to go, just pick a destination from the galaxy map and the CIC and I'll plot a course.
Jacob and I should return to our posts. Come find us if you have any questions.
Use the galaxy map to pick new destinations for the Normandy. Of course, just like Mass Effect 1. Use your private terminal to get status updates in your squad. I don't remember that from the first game, but I don't know. And select weapons for your squad from the armory. That's, I think that was the same as Mass Effect 1, but there was like an arms dealer in the basement in the first ship. Use the elevator to access the Normandy's other decks. I'm not sure if there was I think there was an elevator in 1. And then you can go to your cabin to customize your appearance. Let's go to the cabin and then we'll get into the topic. Acquire the professor to research upgrades for your squad's equipments. Don't worry, we will. It's literally mandatory, so of course we'll go do that. So let's see. I think you can take the elevator up to the private quarters. Captain's cabin. Here you go. Shepard's cabin. Edie.
What's this area of the ship?
This is the commanding officer's quarters.
It's larger than the quarters of other warships I've served on.
This is a Cerberus vessel, not an Alliance warship. Accommodations have been made for personal taste. That said, this space is directly under the exterior pressure hull. The fitting yard workers called it the loft.
So with that being said, that finishes our first episode of the new game Mass Effect 2. So exciting to have another solo Let's Play happening on the channel, and also brings us into our next topic, which is 2022. So I did a video for 2019 and 2020 when I was doing Knights of the Republic 1. Now we're doing 2022 because hey, the year's ending. So yeah, the year in reflection for me. So it's kind of interesting when I was doing the when I was doing sort of like the pre-research to do this video, right? Kind of like going through my old notes and stuff. I found a note that I put in MyFitnessPal, and I usually just use that app to just take generalized notes about kind of like everything I want to get done, not just like workout stuff. And I made some New Year's resolutions from last year, and as I was going through them, I was like, okay, didn't do that, okay, this didn't get done, okay, yep. And the year wasn't like a bad, I don't think, but like, I think there were a lot of points that were kind of like, just different. There were different challenges this year, I'll say as well. So I think the first one in hindsight is that, you know, COVID-19 did not go away right at the beginning of 2021. In fact, I don't think I got vaccinated the first shot in April and didn't get the second one until May, which is normal, but it just wasn't available to people who were younger for quite a long time in the year. And I think that sort of stifled, not only just kept a lot of countries closed down, and they were closed down for quite a while, even after I was vaccinated, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But they didn't, a lot of things just weren't like open for a long time. And so a lot of the beginning of the year was kind of spent waiting for things to open up. Now, I guess one thing that was good is that, so, and notable about this year, and again, challenging in some ways, is that I did end up getting a new job. So, you know, kind of looking through my old thoughts and journals, I was pretty burnt out on Digital Academy. Some of that's apparent in some of the videos where I've sort of alluded to it or talked to about it. And I was able, you know, thankfully through some help from my management, get a new job at a group called EFOS within Software Factory, which is another internal thing at Lockheed. And that job has been challenging in a lot of ways, kind of a gnarly job. I like the team that I work with, but you know, there's been some difficulty with that, and I'm going to save a lot of that for a future episode, because there's definitely a lot to unpack between that and just coding in general, which just for everybody else, because, you know, I've thought this for a long time, but obviously this is where it's going to take place. I'm going to do sequel episodes to a lot of things I talked about before to kind of like give sort of updated thoughts or extra things if I do have like more to say or something new has happened on that. I mean, I don't know if anybody cares about that, but that's what I'm planning on doing. So I have a whole coding episode I'm going to get back into because a lot of my friends are coding now. That's a new thing about 2021. Connor's in the boot camp. Austin's in the boot camp. A lot of friends of mine have gone through either pretty massive, pretty significant professional difficulties this year, or just straight up said, you know what, fuck it, I'm getting in this development money too. And they're taking the class. So, you know, I've been helping out Austin and Connor here and there with different stuff in the boot camp. And I'm happy to say that, some of the code I've seen has been real impressive. And, you know, I really encourage them to commit on that end, and they're definitely both doing it, and you know, that's good. And I know other people like, you know, Daniel, one of, Gwen's friends, is doing the boot camp, and I'm like, damn, man, I did a camp like, 4 years ago now, and now I could name like 6 or 7 people that are in one, you know what I mean? Like, or at least attempting one or looking at one, because, I mean, it's an obviously, great opportunity if you have the ability to kind of buckle down and learn and kind of block out all the noise. I think it can be really challenging otherwise, so in my view. So, but that was one thing, is that there are a lot of people that I know personally, many of which have been on this channel, who have experienced, mental breakdown level difficulty from work, and some of that's just, the job itself, some of that's, related to, the world as it is today. I mean, there's been some of the more globalized issues for this year have been pretty much massive supply chain issues and worker shortages. There are a lot of times, especially during stimulus package time or sort of like unemployment benefits time, where like almost every restaurant or like small business you would go to would have furloughed hours. I guess, I don't know if furloughed is the word for that, but reduced hours, right? Because they just didn't have staff, and there was just nobody working, and I know some of the supply chain stuff is because like people who work like at those supply yards, they're not working there anymore. And just for the record, I don't blame people for not working, right? Because I don't, when you get paid minimum wage to do a job that physically harms you a lot of the time, and the government will give you money to basically do the exact same thing, except not work. And either way, you're not paying for your rent because you can't afford it. Why would you go be employed? You know what I mean? Why would you go? And it's not as cut and dry in that, but, as exactly that. But that's just sort of my view, I think, of that whole thing, right? So I guess I'll get into some of the stuff, so one thing I talked about before is like, I really wanted to get back into basketball and really wanted to get into skating. So when I got that job, I went and I was just getting back into skating, and I'd skated for like a week, and I went and rode with Killian Martin, which was great. Killian Martin is a super awesome freestyle skateboarder. I'd been following him for a long time, and as everybody knows, I like to do weird shit and kind of tag up with internet, celebrity, relatively small celebrities who do cool stuff that I'm interested in, and then meet them and do their thing with them. And skating with Killian was awesome, and it really got me, kind of fired up to learn skating again. And that took a lot of the, I think, energy away from wanting to get back into basketball. But also, I have this tendency to overdo things, as I've said, and I was very much into the knees over toes stuff to try to, rehab my knees and get some power back in and feel good. But I would go to the park and skate transition in like the mini ramps or the, even just like sort of the banks and the different stuff and the small bowls and stuff. And I would just slam, and this is expected, right? To like, you're coming back to skateboarding. You never really skated this kind of skating anyways when you were a kid, and you were never very good anyways. But, it's I would slam a lot, and I would wear pads and knee guards and a helmet, but like, even though like, and if you slam on that stuff, if you land on your elbows and your knees, it doesn't really hurt that much. But when I would slam, like the next day, I would just be really hurting, like in my knees especially, right? Like the force wouldn't directly hit like the bone, but it would just go through my legs, and I lost a ton of progress. Like there was like a good amount of time where I just couldn't do anything, like a few months where like I was just like, I put in all this time in knees over toes, and then it was like reverted, right? And And I mean, in fairness, like I would go skate, then I would go play basketball, then I would like maybe go run. Like I just like when I get into that zone, it's like a great contrast from this shit, right? Like I don't necessarily like being inside all the time. I don't really play like video games arbitrarily because I'm not an arbitrary person, as I've established, right? And I like being outside, and I kind of like, so I'm getting into all the things from this year tangentially, but so we ended up going to Colorado and hanging out with Dad, who has stays up in Aspen sometimes because he owns a stake in a property. He owns a stake in a real estate company up there that builds like billionaire houses for like famous people. And we went up there and stayed with him, and there's a guy that I don't know that well personally, but we've my dad's been involved with for a long time, named Josh, and him and his brother are into extreme sports, and he has Josh has an interesting life where he manages this real estate company, or not real estate, but like construction company, so like literally building the houses and architecting them and kind of instantiating them. And he has this cool sort of lifestyle where he like kind of never doesn't work, but he never does work, where it's not like, okay, you work 4 days or 5 days a week, 40 hours, and then your weekends are free. It's kind of like, yeah, do some work in the morning, then hit the skate park, then hang out, go get lunch over here, buzz back to this property, make sure people are getting stuff done, head out here, do this, go get some drinks. And I was kind of like, I like the flow of this, you know what I mean? I like how like you can go do some work, pop out, have some fun, do some work, pop out, have some fun. And it's very like, I got to figure out how to make that work for me as like a person in a long-term relationship, right? Because like with Josh, it's easy because he's single, so he can just kind of dictate his time however he wants by himself. But like, I think I want to move towards something like that, right? Where like I can go work, hit the park, work over the weekend, like do stuff like that. Because working is always like, keeping motivation working is always challenging for me. So as I said, I went and visited Killian Martin because I got this new job. It was challenging, and I've been able to like. There's been some developments with that, and I've kind of found myself in more of a leadership role and doing a more of like the mentoring and leadership and design, and having more stuff I need to get done. I mean, we have a fuckload of things we need to get done. I don't want to spoil too much, but like I've spent a lot of time like out of the office, out of my house, like just working from different places and shops, because I can't like get work done at home. I have to like be somewhere. It's too easy for me to get distracted and not commit. And I think like the more I balance that like work life, the more I want to work. You know what I mean? Like even today, like I'm on my vacation, right? It's the last 2 weeks of the year, and I kind of want to just like work a little bit today, just because I like to go to a coffee shop, hang out, do some work, enjoy my life. And I guess that like, helps me enjoy things more. So I guess that's one thing I want to do in 2022 is that I want to increase the work-life balance, even if that means like working on weekends. Like I want to enjoy my week more, I guess, and I like working. I don't have a problem with my job right now, but I did at some points, and we'll get into that at a later date. So yeah, that was tough. And then, like other things that I wanted to do this year, and this isn't meant to be like the whine-a-thon, but it's just like weird random things. Like we were supposed to go to Bighorn Basin so I could do the paleontology stuff. I talked about it last in I think the 2020 episode or something, right? And so basically they had a giant fire in the Pacific Northwest, and we couldn't go because the smog went all the way across to like Montana, where we were supposed to be, Montana, Wyoming area. And it made the air shitty. I didn't get refunded, my trip over there. I got some of it refunded from the travel side, but not the actual event. And then all my donation just got donated straight to the Bighorn Basin Research Center. And then I got a card this year like, hey, thanks for donating. And I'm kind of like, thanks. And they didn't like forward port my reservation from like the previous year anymore. So I probably can't go do that, at least specifically that, for like at least another 2 years. And it's kind of like bumming me out, right? The big trip, and we did go to Georgia. We went to Cameron's wedding there. That was great. We stopped by White Oak Pastures. That was for the most part good, but we had some pretty shitty service towards the end because they don't know how to manage anything in their store. But like the actual farm and stuff was cool. And we went to Greenville, South Carolina, which was good, but I didn't dig up any fossils there. I'm not trying to say that Greenville was not great. It's just it just sucks when you've been trying to do something for so long and it seems like you don't really want to do it anymore because of what a hassle it's been. Same with the extra stuff, right? I talked about being an extra in a movie. That office was closed for COVID because they're like Omega liberal for so long, and like I think it was literally closed for COVID like months and months and months into vaccinations being a thing. And then now the world, there's like another fucking variant. Delta came through. Now there's Omicron, which is like, now the world's like, is it mild? Is it not mild? Should we all just like never do anything for the rest of our lives ever again because there is a COVID variant that exists somewhere? Like, people who want to get vaccinated will get vaccinated. People who don't. And there's only so much control that we can exert at the given moment over COVID. And the result of us fucking everything, in some regards from COVID, has precipitated the supply chain issues and the, worker furloughing, right? I mean, it's not all to blame on COVID. A lot of it can be blamed on just shitty practices by our government for a long time. But, like, there's cause and effect to all of this, right? People can't just not work and not interact forever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm very frustrated with that stuff. And the thing I was going to get into before, talked about, we visited out in Colorado. That was great. Talked about Georgia. Talked about Greenville. I like, after I hurt myself, like, and kind of got stuck back, I didn't like tear anything, but like just really lost a lot of progress on my knees. I got like, was hanging out with buddies again at like brunches and having fun and trying to tag up with people more. And I saw that there was like an ad for like a Pokemon theme park, which I'm probably not going to be able to go to anyways. That was like limited time in Japan. And I took that as like, I am definitely going to Japan next year. Full stop. It's going to be awesome. I'm saving money right now to do that. And I'm learning the language. And, I think a lot of people who are supposed to go on that trip, are sort of still on the fence about it. Again, I think it's probably going to be May of next year. It was originally supposed to be like last week of February, first week of March. But I really committed to that, and then I kind of thought like later towards the year there'd be more positive notes, and I learned like hiragana and katakana, which are the two first sort of alphabets of the Japanese language, and I'd hired a coach to talk to practice speaking Japanese, and things were just kind of like, I was sort of like losing steam because I'd been obsessed about this for months, making my travel plans, investigating stuff that was going on in Japan, watching all the different YouTube channels to kind of get a sense of it, kind of getting bummed when like it didn't seem like COVID is ever going to end, and Japan is like very conservative about who comes in. And so I think it's going to be May, if the country is even open in May. I don't even know if they're going to be open in March, and I don't know what it's going to take to get there. Like if you're going to have to quarantine there for X amount of time. And we had Pablo on, and he quarantines for a while every time he goes to Japan. He can't really go anywhere, and it sucks. And the world sucks right now. It still sucks. But yeah, there was, I wouldn't say that 2022 was my favorite year. Again, people around me had professional difficulties, mental breakdowns about work stuff. And I mean, it's not one person. I could say at least like 5 people I could name were like that. And it was kind of rough. I mean, I have a lot to feel thankful for, like all of my problems are still first world problems. It's all like, man, I can't believe I didn't get to do this like exorbitantly awesome thing that I wanted to do. Or like, man, I can't believe I didn't have enough money to buy a Tesla this year because I was saving for this Japan trip that I already finished saving for so that I could go do it. Or like, man, like I really wish I could have gone to this, really crazy awesome vacation. Instead, I'll just go on to this pretty awesome vacation. So, but yeah, it just wasn't, it's a lot of first world problems. I'm sure everybody here doesn't want to hear me whine about shit, but I don't know, just like a lot of different things, happened this year. I saw George Motes. That was awkward. That was really, really awesome when I first went. And then we had like an awkward moment at the end where I think that his girlfriend thought I was going to steal his hat, or like a hat that he was selling. But yeah, for next year, I don't know what I want to do. I want to go to Japan finally. You know, I spent a lot of time and energy. Oh, the other thing from this year. Obviously, I spent a lot of fucking time on that Smash video. Like, literally, like 3 months. Cutting down our 4.5 hour draft call down to like 50 minutes, then finding all the good clips for every, you know, part for every character, and then, you know, kind of like sanding it down and, you know, refining it over the course of days and days and days and days. And it took for fucking ever. And, you know, I was kind of a little disappointed with my performance, I think, because I'd spent more time doing the edit than I did practicing, but like I never could really figure out that matchup, and Smash can be kind of a poorly designed game in a lot of ways anyways. Like, I feel like the devs don't know anything other than like, reduce end lag of aerial. Alright, game good now. You know what I mean? Which has some value to it, but not entirely. But yeah, you know, it's hard to not just whine about first world problem shit, you know? Like, I went on some vacations, I had some kind of whatever moments, I had some pretty good moments too. I didn't feel like bad about them in hindsight till I like started looking at a list of all the things I didn't get done this year, so that's probably jading a lot of this. And then like also like, as I've said, like, you know, people around me had professional difficulties, and also a lot of people were really busy for a long time or were not around anymore because they lived in other places. They, you know, were working on stuff for work that was taking up all their time. And, yeah, or they were like, you know, flaky on certain shit. And you know, thankfully the people who are flaky are not people in my core circle and are not people who are currently in my circle at all. But it just like, I don't know, it kind of bummed me out that like in some ways, right? Like, I didn't spend as much time with friends as I wished I did. I wished like our friends group was as intact as it used to be. It doesn't really feel like it is, just because of life, not because anybody got into like any fights or anything. And, you know, I didn't really get to do a lot of the things I wanted to do, and some of the things I didn't do, I don't really want to do because I'm tired of pursuing them, like the paleontology thing, which is disappointing, right? You know, and then there's other things like I wanted to do the Daidue thing, or I went and, hunted with this guy, and like I cannot seem to get a reservation for this thing. I'm not going to be able to do that at least for another 2 years, so seemingly. But I promise I will stop complaining about first world problems and say, you know what, next year I just want to be able to do fun shit, make money, and keep on living, I guess. And I'm not going to make any New Year's resolutions this year. I'm not going to like think of anything I want to do because, you know, I'm just gonna let shit fall where it's gonna fall and see what happens. So anyways, finally, that is the end of our first Mass Effect 2 video. And as always, all I have to say is bye bye. What's up, Caden?
He's so interesting, I want to die.
He's so boring, man. He goes big place.
Not even nice place. It's
big. This place is... When have you ever seen something and been like, this place is big? You know, the fucking Earth that I live on?
I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
She's just a freaking racist.
This is why I didn't like this game the first time I played it.
Racist.
I got boring idiot and racist.